Hello friends, hairstylists. Welcome to your class, Yoga for Hairstylists. I am Maud, and it's a pleasure for me to teach this class because I have so much respect for you guys, knowing that hairstyling, that your job is actually physically taxing and demanding. I mean, you're always on your feet and you guys have your legs spread, or you're sort of in this lunge position, depending on the level of the chair, and you have one hand holding a blow dryer, the other hand is holding a brush, and you're twirling. Your fingers are always busy with the scissors. It's very taxing and demanding to your extremities. And so my hope for this class is to build strength, help build strength in the areas where you need to be strong, but at the same time, add some softness into the areas that may feel just overtaxed or over demanded, and just to find some restoration, stretching, a bit of calming energy on those areas so that you can also just chill and enjoy your practice. And so today we're going to focus and give a little bit more attention to the neck, obviously your shoulders, and of course your core and your wrists. And so I hope that you enjoy this class. As far as props are concerned, I have 2 blocks right here. They're definitely not required, but if you have 2 throw pillows or 2 tin cans or something that you can put between your legs, that would be awesome. Also, I have a blanket with me. Even though you don't have any knee issues, we will be on our knees later on, and especially if you're practicing on wood, on a wooden surface, it would just be great to have some cushioning underneath your knees. So without further ado, please get on your backs and get one of your props, hopefully a yoga block or a throw pillow or a can, whatever you have, and get on your backs, feet down on the mat. And maybe the feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart, and the knees are bent towards the ceiling. And then just squeeze the block between your thighs, so sort of in your mid-thigh, not towards the knees, but in the middle of the thigh. And then make your adjustments with the feet there, whatever feels good. I want you guys to interlace your fingers behind the head, and then just open up the elbows. And I want you guys to feel what's happening in the lower back. If you already feel a pull where your pelvis has to sort of tilt too much, make any necessary adjustments so that your back is really down on the mat. And you're waking up your abdominal muscles a little bit here because of that. Perhaps close the eyes. Or keep your eyelids heavy, but start to soften the breath. Take an inhale through your nose, please. And as you exhale, slowly sigh it out. Ha! Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out, exhale. Ha! One more time, inhale. And open the mouth, sigh it out. Ha! Next time you want to exhale out through the nose if you want, you can definitely do that. But once you take the next inhale, just notice the rising and falling of the belly, but not just that. Notice the expansion of your rib cage, front, side, and back. The intercostal muscles, which are the muscles along the rib cage, really do kind of move and expand as you inhale. And then if you got to get deeper, imagine your lungs are really filled with air as you inhale. And as you exhale, you release all of that. Through the nose or through the mouth, it doesn't matter. As long as you're consciously breathing. Inhale in. Exhale out. Again, not just the belly rising and falling, but the rib cage expanding. And coming back to center. Now the next few breaths, I want you guys to start squeezing the block, waking up the inner thighs, the inner tissues of the leg. Keeping your eyes closed, your eyelids heavy. Keep the squeeze. After your next exhale, you're going to lift both feet up towards the ceiling. Keep the block between the thighs. Wake up the feet, toes towards the face. Squeezing the block. I did say we were going to wake up our core, right? So keeping the head down, lift your elbows up towards each other. And then using the hands to really have your head rest on top of them, slowly lift the head up. Find this sort of crunch motion. And then let's do this with the breath. Inhale, head down. Open the elbows out. As you exhale, elbows towards each other. Lift the chest, lift the head. Find this crunch. Legs are alive and awake. Inhale, head down. Open the elbows. Exhale, elbows towards each other. Feel this in your belly more, and you're not pulling the neck. Inhale back to center. Elbows out. A few more times just like this. Exhale, elbows together. Feel this hollowing in the belly and then lift up. Again, don't pull in the neck. Just let the head rest on your hands. One more time. Inhale down. Open up the elbows. Exhale, elbows towards each other. Hollow and crunch. Beautiful. Stay right here. And on your next inhale, lower the head, lower the elbows, lower the feet. Beautiful. Got to wake up our core so we can get reminded towards the end of class where that is, and it's really the entire trunk. Open up the arms to the side. Feet are going to be as wide as the mat. Find these nice windshield wiper motion. Sending the knees to the right. Sending the knees to the left. Nice feeling in the lower back, yeah? One more time on each side. Exhaling as we send the knees out. Inhaling to center. Exhale the knees to the left. Beautiful. Now step the ankles or the feet in closer towards your glutes, and the left ankle, the left foot is going to be right underneath your left knee. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, and if you can, interlace your fingers behind the hamstrings. Again, notice what's happening in the lower back. If there's too much yanking, then make your necessary adjustments there. You can lower your lumbar spine, the lower part of the spine down, wakes up the belly, wakes up the abdominals. You can lengthen the arms and sort of just let the leg hang a little bit, but really you're pulling the toes towards your face to help open up the back of the legs. Inhale right here. And as you exhale, slowly send the right leg to the right. You can place your right hand outside your right thigh, place your elbow down towards the mat. You're not going to go far, you're just going to open up the hip and open up that leg. Abdominals still awake, breath is soft. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly release this leg. We're going to do all that on the left side. So right ankle, the right foot's going to be underneath your right knee. Organize that. Just make sure that you feel sort of stable here. And then lengthen your left leg up. Interlace your fingers behind the left hamstring. Toes towards the face. Opening up the back of that left leg. Keep the back of the neck soft. So resist the urge to lift your chin up. Keeping the softness of the back of the neck allows the prana, allows the breath to just go up and down without any obstructions. And so you should just keep the breath fluid. Glue your left butt cheek down. Inhale. And as you exhale, left hand on the left side of the thigh, release the right hand. And you can just plant your left elbow down, catching that leg. Breathe, inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Slowly come to center. Bend the knees towards the chest. Put your hands on top of your knees and then lengthen your arms and let the fingers just drape sort of at the outer edge of your knees, of your kneecap. Pull your lower belly down and then slowly start doing these knee circles so that you're not going too far with the knees. You're just bringing them in towards the chest. Perhaps at an inhale and on an exhale, that's when the knees go a little farther from you. Just make these circles, maybe 4 circles in one direction. And then go the other way. Still bring attention to the core, the torso, the trunk, front, side, and back. This also feels good to the lower back. Beautiful. And then set the knees towards the chest again. You can cross up the ankles. Place your hands on top of the shin, and we'll just do a few rocks up and down the mat. Rocking, maybe sort of hovering, catching yourself. That's your core. Maybe 2 more rocks. And the 2, cross up the ankles. Beautiful. Plant your hands and get on a high kneeling position. This is where the blankets might come in handy if you're directly practicing with your mat on top of a wooden surface or a hard surface. It's just good to have some cushioning. Please grab your 2 blocks. Keep the 1 block to the side. Place the other block between the thighs. We've kind of been here before, but I'm trying to simulate your experience in your job where you're a little bit more upright. So place the block in your mid-thigh, between the thighs, and then interlace your fingers behind the head. Perhaps your thumbs could rest on your neck and open up the elbows. So your chest feels unrestricted, but send your ribs in, still waking up your abdominal muscles. Inhale right here. And as you exhale, draw the elbows towards each other, tuck your chin towards your chest, and then wake up the belly without necessarily rounding the spine. Squeeze the block. Inhale, look up, open the elbows. We did this lying down, yeah? Just a different orientation. Exhale, elbows towards each other. Chin to chest, feel that nice stretch in the neck. Squeeze the block, wake up the belly. Inhale, rise, open up the elbows. Exhale, elbows towards each other. Chin to chest, stretch that neck. Belly is super awake, thighs are super active. One more time, inhale, lift up. Open the chest, open the elbows, exhale, elbows towards each other. Before you bow, keep the spine long. The muscles awake in the front of the body, squeeze the block. And then slowly release the arms. If you have another block or another prop, place it outside your right knee. Place your right hand on top of it. Now guys, I still want you to keep squeezing the block. The block just makes it easier for you to access sort of that center line of the body energy source. And so place your right hand on top of your prop. If you don't have it, then just drape your right arm down, reaching towards your knee, and then lift your left arm up. Before you do a lateral bend, stretch over to the right side, squeeze the block. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, bend and stretch the left side of the body with a soft pace and a soft breath. Slowly release, come back to center. If you have that prop, place it on the left side, outside your left knee, or just reach your left hand towards the left knee. Otherwise, plant the hand down. Inhale the right arm up first, and then exhale, lateral bend, stretch to the left side. Keep squeezing the block. I've been doing yoga for almost 20 years, and having a block between my thighs has just been a game changer since 2 decades ago. It's just a big waker upper and sort of a tactile, tangible reminder of where that center line is. So milk that here. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Slowly release. You can set the blocks aside for now, but just make sure that they're within your arm's reach. Keep the blanket there if it felt good to your knees, for sure. And then come into quadruped or hands and knees. The hands and the wrists are going to be directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees are going to be directly underneath your hips. Now, instead of dropping your belly down right away, zip your belly up. So there's a little bit of lift of the body away from the mat, which means you're alleviating all that weight away from the wrist, so your wrists don't have to take all the brunt. Let's do some cat-cows here first, shall we? So as we inhale, that's when you drop the belly, lift the tailbone, open the chest, and then lift your head. And as you exhale, you round the spine, hollow the belly, tuck your tailbone, and then drop your chin towards your chest. Really push the floor away from you. Inhale, arch the spine. Lift the tailbone up, chest opens, lift your head. Exhale, go the other way. Hollow it out. A couple more times in this cat-cow. Organize the breath with the movement so that we don't feel choppy. When the breath is choppy, guess what? The movement becomes choppy, so we want to keep the breath fluid. And it's the king, it's the commander of the practice. Let it lead your practice. And then slowly come to center. We are going to pay attention to the wrists right now. So I want you guys to identify where the wrist joint is, which really is multiple teeny tiny joints inside the wrist, and where the heel of the hand is. And so what I want you guys to do is to really wake up the nerves in your palm and your fingers, wake it up so that you recruit these tissues, these muscles, these nerves, as opposed to just dumping in your teeny tiny wrist. We'll do the same with the shoulders and the core so that the body can lift itself up off of the mat, sort of fighting gravity without dumping in your wrist. So for now, come into this regular quadruped with the fingers pointing ahead. And then let's turn the fingers out so they're facing outward, but they're still underneath your shoulders. And then start to do these circles with your hips without dumping into your belly and shoulders. Keeping the belly a little bit lifted. Notice where you're distributing the weight and how you're distributing the weight as you're making these circles on the hip. Please go the other direction, whether you went clockwise or counterclockwise. Being hairstylists, you guys are just always holding on to something. So you're always making a fist and you're always grabbing and gripping. So we want to kind of let that go for now. Beautiful, come to center, shake the right wrist, shake the left wrist. This time turn the fingers towards the knees, but keep both wrists in line and still underneath the shoulders. You'll notice right away which wrist is easier to turn. And then slowly revisit those circles once again. Feeling the stretch right in that space, that area of the wrist that feels sort of directly related to your forearm muscles, because they really are. Reversing the circle if you haven't already. One more circle this way. Come to center, shake the right wrist, shake the left wrist. This time plant your left wrist down normally, and then plant the back of the right palm down towards the mat, but keep both wrists in line so they're still underneath your shoulders. You can walk your knees a little bit closer towards your hands. You don't have to lock this elbow. You can keep it micro bent, but inhale. And as you exhale, tuck the toes in the back and just sink your hips a little bit towards the heels, a little bit. I mean it. You don't have to sit. You just have to feel the stretch in front of that hand, in front of the wrist rather. Notice how your forearms, perhaps your elbows towards your shoulders, respond to that stretch. One more breath here, inhale. And then exhale, shake it off. Beautiful, right palm is down. This time the back of the left palm down towards your mat. Keep spreading your fingers, guys. Make sure both wrists are in line, that way they're still underneath the shoulders. Feel free to walk your knees again closer to your hands, tuck the toes in the back. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, Hips closer to your heels. You don't have to plant them. I definitely do not have a lot of range of motion in my wrist. And so this is my stopping point. Make sure you're not in an area of pain and that you're not experiencing pain. You're just getting sensation and feedback. One more breath right here. And then exhale, slowly release. We'll get into child's pose, but sit your hips towards your heels first. Separate the knees out, toes towards each other. Shake the arms and shake the wrists. Make a loose fist with your hands, perhaps making these circular motions. And then get into child's pose. Drop your elbows down, drop your forehead on top of something. If the mat is too far, place your block underneath the forehead so the earth meets you halfway. Breathe right here. Just let your hands relax. It doesn't matter where they are. Reset the breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale. Cleanse the breath. Exhale. Beautiful. Slide the hands underneath your shoulders. Slowly lift yourselves up. Draw the knees towards each other a little closer. Interlace your fingers behind you. Notice if already you're opening your front body too much and leaning forward, you can keep the chest open, but keep your ribs back. Inhale right here. Really squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, opening the chest. Exhale. The exhale can be through the mouth or through the nose. Just make sure that you're really minding the breath. Last inhale right here. And then exhale. Beautiful. Shake the arms, shake the wrist to get it. That felt good. We're going to cut into plank pose. So place the two blocks or your two pillows in front of you like this. But then as we get into plank pose, you're going to place your hands behind them. If you don't have these blocks, then I would recommend you don't use the tin cans because it's just hard to plant your hands on that. But if you have thick books, then you can do it. Spread fingers, wrists underneath the shoulders, step back into your plank pose. Squeeze and firm your butt. Tailbone directed towards the heels and also engage the muscles and the side of the ribs. So you're not rounding the spine, you're also not dumping your chest down. Take an inhale right here. On your next exhale, walk your left hand on top of one of the yoga blocks and the right hand, and you're going to walk your feet also. It's almost like you're coming up into a higher plank. As you exhale, walk your right hand back, right foot back, left hand back, left foot back, plank pose. We're just going to step up our hand. Again, also stepping our feet, but keep the butt firm. Keep the core awake. Exhale, right hand down, left hand down. Boom. We're waking up the core, but also strengthening the wrist. One more time, step it up. Exhale, right hand down. Left palm down. Just one more breath right here. One full inhale. And one full exhale. Beautiful. Lower the knees down, perhaps into your blanket. Tuck the toes in the back. And then do these hip circles right here. Like I said, we're doing some strengthening as well as some softening and some restoration in the tissues and the parts of the body that may be overtaxed. Reverse the motion. Go the other way. Nice job. Come into a closed knee child's pose. So get your knees towards each other. And then lengthen your arms out. And then drop your head down. You may not touch the ground. You may not touch the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, hands towards your feet. And perhaps this becomes a little bit easier for your forehead to plant on the mat or perhaps on the block. Find some softness here. Breathe through it. One more inhale. And then exhale. Place your hands underneath the shoulders and then gently uncurl the spine. And slowly lift your chin up. Beautiful. Please place all your props to the side, your blankets and perhaps your two blocks or your two props, because we are going to get in a downward facing dog. And speaking of hair, I better ponytail my hair before we get to that pose. Downward facing dog, get into a quadruped first, hands underneath the shoulders again, tuck the toes in the back, and then slowly lift your hips up and back with the hands at least shoulder width apart and the feet are at least hip width apart. Again, spread your fingers and really wake up all the nerves and even like the skin of the palm and the fingers. Just rest your head down, just drop your head down, lengthen the spine. And we can bend one leg at a time here in your downward facing dog. Just sort of recognize, how tight our back feels, especially the back of the leg. So we want to loosen it up a little bit. In down dog, we prioritize the lengthening of the spine. So imagine your tailbone is shooting up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. And then your legs can actually just stay bent if you have to, like this. And so if you feel like you need to lock the knees and round your spine, that's really not where we want to be in our down dog. Like I said, prioritize the lengthening of the spine while keeping the knees soft is totally cool. Take a breath right here. Inhale. And then exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, step, or place your foot between the palms, coming down into a lunge. Get your left knee down. The hands can be on either side of the foot. You can have two blocks right here if you need to, or you can just be on your fingertips. But then just keep your torso in line with the neck, so sort of this 45-degree angle. You can be on your fingertips or not, or you can plant the hands down. Just sway the body left and right, firming up the left butt to help open up the left hip. Just sway it left and right. Beautiful. And then plant the left hand down, plant the right hand inside the right foot, heel toe your right foot on the edge of your mat, and then get the hands underneath your shoulders. Open up the right foot towards the right about 45 degrees. You can even peel the inner arches off of the mat. And then slowly just get your left butt firm and make sure that you're unraveling, like opening up the right hip and the right groin slowly. It's just not a yanking of that knee. It's a gradual, eventual sensation. So firming up the left butt. Inhale. Exhale. Nice job. Slowly lengthen that right leg out. Walk the hands towards the knees. This is called a half split. So you can have the hands outside of the right leg. You can plant your hands down. As long as you're lengthening your spine, you can even grab your blocks if you want. But take a deep inhale here. And exhale, find your fold, sending that right hip back. It's okay if your right leg is not totally lengthened because you can keep soft knees here but still get the hamstring stretch that you want. Inhale. Take your time. Exhale. Be patient. Beautiful. Slowly walk the hands forward. This time, heel toe your foot towards the middle of your mat. Inhale your inhale your arms up. And as you exhale, send your left elbow outside your left thigh best you can. Keeping your left knee down, finding your balance. You can do palm to palm or palm to fist, but use this as leverage to really twist the body towards the right side. Lengthen the spine, almost like the crown of your head wants to touch the wall. Have a soft face. Keeping the breath soft as well. Inhale. And then exhale. If you want, you can lift your left knee off of the mat, but only if that's part of your practice. If it's not, keep your left knee down. We're just going to be here for one big breath. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the knee if it was lifted. Untwist, plant the palms down, and step back into your downward facing dog once again. It's a letter A shape. Tailbone will be the top of that alphabet. Prioritizing the length of the spine, so shoot it up. You can keep your legs bent. Don't worry about planting your heels down at all. Now, are your hands awake? Right? Are your fingers spread? Do your shoulders feel strong? Inhale. Pull your lower belly back and up. Exhale. Next inhale, lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Next breath, step, or just bring your left foot between the palms. Plant your right knee down, coming into this lunge. Again, the hands are going to be on either side of the foot. You can be on your fingertips. Firm up the right glute, the right butt, since your right knee is down. Helps open up the front of the right hip and just sway left and right. These don't have to be big sways. You can just sway about an inch or two. That just feels good. It sort of prepares the body for that big hip opener and groin waker upper that we're going to get into. One more sway left and right. And then heel toe your foot outside the edge of the mat. Plant your left hand down. Plant your right hand down underneath the shoulders. Open up the left foot out about 45 degrees, and you can even peel your inner arch off of the mat. Inhale right here. And as you exhale, gradually and slowly opening up that left hip. Still engaging that right glute. Left hip is opening up, right hip as well, the front of the hip. Taking any opportunity to retrain the brain around our wrists, right? So really spreading those fingers, recruiting the muscles and the nerves and the tissues on your palm and on your hand. Spreading it out, which is the total opposite of what you guys do the whole day. You're in your job, which is holding on to something. So we're just countering that. On your next inhale, slowly lengthen that left leg in a half split, leaving the foot out to the edge of the mat if you want. Fingers on either side of the leg. Inhale to lengthen the spine, make space. And as you exhale, find your fold, sending your left hip as far back as you can, keeping the spine long. Be kind to your neck. Inhale. Be patient. Exhale. Beautiful. Slowly walk the hands back to the top of the mat. Heel toe your foot again towards the midline. And then next inhale, just lift your arms up briefly. And then exhale, plant your right elbow outside the left thigh. Wiggle whatever needs to be wiggled. Palm to palm or palm to fist, find a focus on this side. Send your left hip back, lengthen the spine. Inhale, use the hands as leverage and the elbows leverage to really twist and wring the body towards the left side. Ay, 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 it feels good. Find your balance. Inhale. Exhale. If it's a part of your practice and your body allows, then you can lift your right knee off of the mat. Keeping the left hip back, lengthening the spine. One breath, inhale. And then exhale, lower the knee if it was lifted. Unravel. And slowly step back into your downward facing dog once again. Taking your time. Again, bending and pedaling one leg at a time. Prioritizing the length of the spine. And then come into your still down dog if you want. Again, you can keep the legs bent and soften the knees. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Let the bottom of your exhale walk the feet towards the top of the mat. Feet are directly underneath the hips. Grab elbow to elbow or just dangle your arms. But sway the body left and right. Shake the head yes and no. Just let stuff go. Feel the heaviness of your head and just let it hang. And then slowly rise up and curl. Beautiful. We're going to get into a high crescent lunge. Step your right foot forward and step your left foot back. In this high crescent lunge, I want you guys to really feel your right quad, the front of that leg, working, and the left heel in the back is going to be lifted. Direct your tailbone down towards the mat and gather sort of this lower belly energy. Inhale the arms up. And as you exhale, drop your right hand towards your left hamstring. And then lift your heart up a little bit higher, keeping your tailbone pointing down. Open up the front body. Inhale right here. And as you exhale, lengthen the right leg in front of, the left arm in front of you and the right arm behind you. Palm facing the side of the mat. Stack your elbows on top of your pelvis. As best you can, open up the right shoulder. Breathe. Next, inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, slowly, hands to heart center, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Now we're going to step the right foot back. Find this high crescent lunge. The last time I was with my hairstylist, she was doing a lot of lunges. And so this sort of inspired me to do that because you guys are doing this anyway. We want to make sure that we build strength in the legs and that we also wake up the core. Inhale, arms rise. Again, direct the tailbone down towards the earth. And as you exhale, left hand towards the right hamstring behind that right thigh. And then inhale the right arm up. Tailbone pointing down, but lift your heart up. You can keep looking forward. Find your focus, find your breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, right arm long in front of you. Left arm behind you, finding that twist. Palm open to the long side of your mat. Breathe. Wake up the belly, wake up your core. Inhale right here. Arms up. Hands to heart center. Step the right foot to the top of the mat. Shake the arms and shake the legs if you have to. Come into the middle of your mat. We're going to get into some curtsy moves. So I want your feet underneath the hips this time. And find this nice posture. Like be proud, be confident with the way you carry yourself and with the way you stand. And then cross your right foot outside the left. Drop your left arm down and then lift your right arm up towards the ceiling before you do a lateral bend stretch towards the left. Deep breaths here, inhale. And then exhale. Now release the right arm, keep the legs crossed, left hand on your left hip, step the right foot back a little bit farther so you're in this curtsy. And then you lift your right arm up once again. feeling this deeper stretch. On an exhale, you're going to lift your right leg up to the midline like this and then do an oblique crunch. So get your right elbow down towards your right thigh. Find your balance. Inhale, curtsy. Exhale, oblique crunch. You can step even. We want to add some movement in your torso. We want to add some strength right there. So the side of the ribs, your obliques, those muscles, we're waking them up. 2 more times. Inhale, curtsy. Exhale, oblique crunch. If you're falling, that's okay. You're human. You're doing the work. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. And then slowly lower the leg. Beautiful. Feet underneath the hips. Cross the left foot outside the right. Drop the right arm down. Inhale the left arm up. And then you do a lateral bend stretch over to the right side. You'll notice we're orienting the shoulders in many different directions. We're lengthening the body. Point your tailbone down towards the mat. Wake up the belly. And then slowly lower this left arm. Right hand is going to be in your right hip. And then walk your left foot back a little further. Deepen that curtsy. And then slowly lift your right arm up once again. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lift this left leg. Curtsy, lunge, elbow towards the thigh. Inhale, curtsy. Exhale, oblique crunch rather. Inhale 3 more times. Do not drop that leg. Plant that leg, or that foot rather. Exhale, crunch. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Finding your balance. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful release. Nice job, you guys. Separate the feet out a little wider than hip width apart. We're going to get into a squat. If you need to sit on something, grab your blocks or whatever you have that you can sit on. Otherwise, hands to prayer at the heart. Toes point outward about 45 degrees, and you slowly lower your hips down in this malasana squat, sending your arms and elbows inside the legs and opening your chest out, lengthening that spine. There is some activity with the arms as they want to push out, but the legs want to push back in, and so you feel this sort of tug of war, and neither one of them is winning. Again, keep the core engaged, so they'll just hang in your lower back or dump in your lower back. Breathe. Inhale. And then exhale. 1 more breath just like that. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Slowly plant the hands. Lift your hips up. And as you do this forward fold, just drop 1 knee at a time. And we're going to get into our forearm plank. Plant your elbows underneath the shoulders, spreading the palms. Stepping your left and right foot out, squeezing the butt. Find this one nice long line from the tailbone towards your heels. This is a forearm plank. You want to build strength in your shoulders because, like I said, you guys are always just in one shape. You have a patterned movement, so we really want to make sure your shoulders are strong. On the next inhale, lift your hips up and step your feet in a little bit. Let your head hang. Again, you can keep the legs bent and softened. Keep your knees about hip width apart if you can. Inhale. And as you exhale, walk the feet back, come into a forearm plank once again. Squeeze and firm up the butt. The next inhale, without dumping, lower the knees, lower the hips down. Keep the hands where they are. We come into a Sphinx pose. Take this time to squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. The scapula, the shoulder blade is going to be a little bit lifted, which is fine. We just want to elevate that naturally. Squeezing the butt to help open up the hip, lengthening the front body. Next, exhale, tuck the toes in the back, come into a forearm plank. Squeeze everything towards your midline. Inhale, lift the hips up, walk the feet a little bit forward or a lot more forward than you did before, depending on where the body's at. Just breathe through this. Don't get attached to the shape, get attached to the experience. The focus is on the shoulders. Inhale. And then exhale, walk the feet back. Forearm plank. Next, exhale, slowly lower the knees, lower the belly, Sphinx pose, open the chest. To open the chest, the muscles behind need to be working hard. So shoulder blades drawing towards each other, keep the fingers and hands spread. One more time, tuck the toes in the back, squeeze the butt, lift the belly off the mat, forearm plank. Inhale, dolphin pose. Lift the hips up, walk the feet in. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, walk the feet back into your plank. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the knees and the hips, come back into your Sphinx pose. Beautiful. Next, exhale. Make a pillow out of your hands. Place your head on top of it. Lift your feet off of the mat and just find this windshield wiper motion with the feet left and right. Nice release in the lower back. And then slowly lower the feet, just keeping the toes untucked. Lengthen your arms in front of you and drop your forehead down towards the mat. On your next inhale, firm up the butt, engage those glutes, and then slowly send your elbows towards your hips, like you're making field goal shape with the arms. Lift your head and then lift your legs. Really squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower the feet. Lower the forehead, lower the hands, lengthen the arms. Inhale, firm up the butt. Squeeze shoulder blades together, elbows towards the hips. Lift your hands off of the mat. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, lower the feet, lower the forehead, lengthen the arms. 2 more times. Inhale, firm up the butt. Squeeze everything before you lift. Exhale, slowly lower without holding the breath. 1 more time. Squeeze the glutes before you lift. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Firm up the legs. Shoulder blades towards each other. And then exhale, slowly lower. Make a pillow with your hands. Again, lift the feet off of the mat. Find this nice windshield wiper motion, left and right. And then plant the feet down. Plant the hands underneath your shoulders. Gently send the hips towards the heels. Come into a child's pose. Once again, knees apart, toes towards each other. Plant the elbows down and just soften the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Hands underneath the shoulders. Gently uncurl the spine. And grab one of your blocks, please, as you make your way on your backs once again. However graceful that may look like. Bend the legs so the knees are towards the ceiling. Grab the block, please. Make a decision if you want to place the block underneath your sacrum or the lower part of the spine on the flat side or its second side. So lift the hips up a little bit. You can plant it in whatever height you want. Just come into this nice supported bridge. Make sure that the chest feels open, hands just dangling on the side. And you feel this front body opening right here. The back of the neck is long. Close the eyes or keep your eyelids heavy. On your next inhale, send your right knee towards the chest. Just interlace your fingers on top of the right shin. Give it a nice gentle squeeze right there. Next inhale, lengthen the right leg. We were here before, but without the block. Hands could be interlaced behind the hamstrings. These are mindful stretches. We strengthen, we restore, we stretch, we breathe. We be kind to our bodies and prioritize ourselves. And slowly release. Right foot is down. This time send the left knee up towards the chest. Interlace fingers on top of the left shin. Nice gentle squeeze here. Inhale. Exhale. Again, like I mentioned in the start of class, feel the rib cage expand as you breathe in, not just the belly rising up and down. Beautiful. Lengthen the left leg up. If you so wish, and if you can, interlace fingers behind the left hamstring. Resist the urge to overdo this stretch. We're towards the end of class, so stretch it, but try not to max it out. Just do enough to feel enough sensation in the back of the leg. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly release. Firm up the glutes, lift your hips off of the blocks. Keep them lifted and then just send the blocks off to the side. So come into this unsupported full bridge pose. Hands on the side of the hips. And then slowly lower your butt down. Lengthen the right leg towards the top of the mat. Send the left knee in, compress it, squeeze it towards the chest. And then slowly bring it towards the right side for a nice supine twist. Dig your left shoulder blade down towards the mat, perhaps turning your head towards your left arm spine. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the left leg where it is. Just bend the right leg so it's now underneath the left knee. Perhaps a deeper twist is what you want. And so you can stack the knees. You can place a block between the legs and the thighs just to keep that pelvis level if you want. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Slowly come back to center with the knees. You can get rid of the block if you want. Lengthen your left leg. Send your right knee towards the chest. Squeeze it in. Before you send the right knee to the left side, open up the right arm. Make sure that the right shoulder blade is down towards the mat. The left hand on top of your right thigh. You can just nudge the knee down, not push the knee down. Perhaps rotating your neck towards the right arm, if that feels good. Inhale. Exhale. Let the ribs expand. Notice that, recognize that. Keep the right knee where it is. Just bend the left leg and the left knee so it's right underneath the right leg. Again, placing a block between the thighs. If that feels good to you, if that's what you want, this helps keep the pelvis even and level. Take big breaths right here. Inhale. Exhale. Really release it up. Inhale. And on an exhale, just remove the block away if you had it between the legs. And then squeeze the knees towards the chest again. Hands on top of the shins. And we're going to revisit those rocks that we did at the start, crossing at the ankles. Just rock up and down, maybe hover. Get some hang time. Waking up the core. Work one more time. And slowly cross at the ankles. We're going to end class in a seated position. If you have any lower back issues, just place the blanket underneath your bums. That way there's a natural curvature of the spine and you're not dumping your lower back down. Otherwise, just sit right here with your shins crossed, palms together at heart center, thumbs touching your chest, and bowing your head towards your hands. Inhale. Look up. Exhale, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear towards your left shoulder. Inhale up. And this time take a deeper bow to yourselves, to your practice. Thank you so much for sharing your practice today. Thank you so much, you guys, for showing up for yourself, for expressing some self-care by practicing yoga. I hope you truly did find the strengthening moves and the opening and the stretches that we did and some of the restoration stuff helpful to you in your day-to-day activities and your day-to-day lives as hairstylists. From my house to yours, namaste, namaste, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Till then, take care and goodbye.